Hello, welcome to the Tavern Chat Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar. I am your bartender in the OSR and the main proprietor of Tenkar's Tavern blog. Today it's a bits and pieces day. We've hit some milestones, we're about to hit some milestones, and I just like to cover some of the stuff. It's both at the blog. Um, at the blog, we got something on the Discord, we got stuff going on here on the Anchor. So, hey, we'll start off with the Discord. As of the moment that I'm doing this, it's Saturday night, February 2nd. We have 1,496 members in the Discord server. That is mind boggling. Four away from 1,500. Seriously, if you aren't there, you should be. Why? Because we do things that come up on this podcast. It's where I record all the live interviews. These interviews are recorded on the Tenkar's Tavern Discord server in Fireside Chats. And if you are logged in at the time, you want to listen in as we record it, you can do so. You can make comments in text, in the text chat. It's pretty cool. Last night, we launched RPG Coast to Coast. If you don't know what RPG Coast to Coast, it's a lot like our Sunday morning Breakfast Club, which, if you haven't listened to the Breakfast Club, it really is very similar, but much more freeform to panels that you will see at or listen to or participate in, be in the audience of at conventions. We take a topic or two and we run with it. And then at the end, we open it up to questions from the audience. They can either ask their question in the text channel or we open it up the voice channel and anybody can participate. And afterwards, we post them up as podcasts. I will be linking the podcast on the Tenkar's Tavern blog, but I'll also put a link into the show notes. I really should do a huge thing with the show notes. I really should have a bunch of stuff that's a simple copy and paste at the end of the basic show notes. Handy links for everybody. I'm getting there. I'm finally almost caught up for my catching up. Emails are pretty much all caught up. I got one more day of OSR Christmas I have to post up. That's either going to be tonight or tomorrow. And I have OSR Christmas stuff to mail out. But I am at that moment where I no longer feel that I'm looking at my head going underwater. I am better than treading water now. I'm actually moving forward. So, yay! Huzzah! Huzzah! Now, talking about moving forward, quick thing about something that I had brought to the community on Google Plus. My God, back in, I want to say 95. It was shortly before I retired and around when they changed my work hours from Monday through Friday banker's hours to working off shift with half the weekend and then midnights with half the weekend, which really means you got no weekend. At least not the traditional type of weekend. So I dropped a ball there and I admitted it. And Milton Murphy picked that ball up and ran with it. This was for Tenkar's Landing, which was a crowdsourced setting to be used in your fantasy RPG. And then Jim McClure stepped in to help turn what became Milton's project into a 440 plus page PDF, which is now live in print on Lulu, sold at cost. However, you can grab the PDF, you can grab the beautiful map that goes along with the PDF for free. I will include links again in the show notes. However, you can get the PDF and the map by going to Tenkars-Tavern.games / the Black Isle. It is free, as in air, as in like non-bottled water. Seriously, it is amazing stuff, and this was done by the community, for the community. It was a work of love, a work of generosity, and these real people that participated in this, you owe it to them to read what they did. And you can farm it for so many ideas. You can take these locations and drop them into your own campaigns. It is really meant to be modular, just grab and drop. You can even take the setting and drop it into your campaign. It can fit anywhere you got some water. So just think about it. So we're throwing that out for you. Another milestone. This podcast, Amaze Balls. I don't really use that word, but figured if anybody's going to use it, it might as well be me. February 1st, we had the highest number of plays of the podcast since the podcast kicked off. Over 1,700 plays. Today, the second, almost 950. Now, I don't know if those plays actually happened on those days in question, or if Anchor was, finally collating or capturing all the plays from the various podcast catchers or podcast distributors that they aren't directly linked to. So maybe it takes a while from the filter. And I've had spikes like this once or twice before, but never this high. So that could be where that's coming from. If you listen to this podcast, if you're hearing the sound of my voice, you're listening to the podcast, thank you. This is so gratifying. I'm embarrassed. It's a good embarrassed, but I'm embarrassed. I'm overwhelmed. I mean, who would have thought? So, spread the word. If you enjoy here. If you enjoy what you're listening to, spread the word. All right. When you listen, we do run advertisements. We have sponsors. As I'm recording this, the only sponsor we actually have right now, I believe, is Anchor. But we do get a minuscule amount per play, but it adds up. And it's allowed me to buy a new headset. I'm actually going to, once we have at the house the workout room completed, it's on the far side of the house from the dog. I'm going to put a small foldable desk in there, or chair, bring my laptop over, maybe get I don't know, one of those, what they call them, snowball mics. Professional, right? You're going to have, all right, that's me. It's not going to be professional, but it will certainly be me giving the best that I can give. Right now, I'm giving the best that I can give, sitting 5 feet from a dog that has learned that my podcasts are important, and she'll be generally quiet until the very end. But, if we can improve on things, of course, we'd like to improve on things. So I will include stuff in the show notes. I'm going to try to improve show notes with links and stuff. So if you don't normally look at show notes, I'm going to try to make them at least worth your while to look at them, including links to stuff that's mentioned in the podcast. If you have suggestions, drop me a line. You can email me at tenkars.tavern@gmail.com. You can send me a voicemail via the Anchor app. I would give you my Google number, but God knows what it is. I really should write it down and put it right on top of my monitor. But hey, next time. All right, folks. As always, thank you. Thank you for listening. If you get a chance, look us up on iTunes. Give us a rating. Next week is going to be, I believe, 4 interviews. It's a heavy interview week before a lull before the cons. Be safe. Be well. God bless. Roll your dice well. I will talk with you all tomorrow. Later, folks.